In this video, you'll learn how to use the random and ceil methods of the math object in JavaScript. The math object is really useful when using some of its built-in methods, one of which is the random method. For example, this method allows you to generate a decimal number between 0 and 0.99. So let's explore how the random method works in practice. One way you can work with the math.random method is to save its result in a variable. Notice I have created a variable named decimal and assigned its value to the math.random method. I can now log the value to the console, but please note the limited range of numbers that will be returned. If you want to output a number larger than 1, you must multiply the variable by 10. And I can do this with the multiplication operator using the asterisk symbol. When I click on the Run button, the output shows two numbers. The first one is a random decimal, and the second one is the decimal multiplied by 10. So this is an example of how you can extend the range of the math.random method to meet your needs. Okay, let me switch tabs now and learn about another built-in method of the math object, the ceil method. This is used to round up any decimal number to the nearest integer. Let's pass several different decimals through this method and inspect the output. Notice that I have some code pasted into this file, and on line 4, I've created a variable named rounded and assigned it to the math.ceil method. Inside the parentheses, I have placed the value 0.0001. I've logged this variable to the console. When I run my code, notice that a value of 1 is output. This is because the ceil method can only round upwards. Just to confirm that behavior, we can change the decimal. When I set it to 0.5, I get the same outcome. I change it to 0.99 and, as expected, 1 again. Okay, let's move on to working with some larger numbers. Let me uncomment line 7 and notice that 1.01 returns a value of 2. When the value is 1.5, 2 is also the output. Finally, if I run the ceil method on the value 2.99, I end up with 3. So now you understand how both the random and ceil methods work. Let me switch tabs again and next build some code that will combine the two to return a random integer between 0 and 10. The first step is to create a variable and assign it the value of the math.random method multiplied by 10. I need to pass this variable through the ceil method to ensure that an integer instead of a decimal value is created. So I declare the variable rounded and assign it the value of the math.ceil method containing the decimal variable inside the parentheses. Finally, I use the console.log method to output the variable rounded. If I run the code, notice that a value between 0 and 10 is output to the console. Just to confirm this works, I'll rerun the code and once again I get the expected result. In this video, you've learned how to use the random and ceil methods of the math object in JavaScript. Can you think of any creative uses for these? Why not give them a try in your own code?